So, dear my children, my adults with autism, let's be real. Like, be fucking for real. Like, if we gonna be real, we were autistic and people were just assholes. Okay, neurotypicals really were the type of people where they could tell that there was, a deficiency, or there was something off or odd about us when it came to, socializing and stuff like that. They could tell that we just were very unlike everyone else around us, and that what everyone else got, we didn't get. They could tell that we may have been a little more fragile and sensitive than the next guy, and how we sometimes were unable to really stand up for ourselves because people with autism are very non-confrontational. But what happened is people took advantage of that. And as you are awakening to the fact that you are autistic, you're basically having to, relive those experiences. It's re-traumatizing. You have to go and reprocess and re-heal everything because you're looking at it from a different lens. Like, wow, this wasn't just bullying. This was bullying to the extreme because I have a disability. They're bullying people and abusing people with disabilities. That's cold-hearted. Because listen, these people, regardless of if we knew how to stand up for ourselves or not, regardless of the strength that we carried back then, it does not equate that people were able to just walk all over us and treat us any old kind of way, because that is a lack of morals on their part. Yes, we understand that we were not the strongest at the time, and the strength that we have now, we did not have it then. We understand that. But that does not give people the green light to completely belittle and berate us and leave us feeling mortified all the time when we leave groups of people. There was no reason for us to deal with the type of torment that we had to go through because we are around people that are very apathetic. It is more common for neurodivergent people to be empathetic than it is for neurotypicals. One thing in common is that neurodivergent people are most likely and very empathetic. Neurotypical people, there are a lot of them, not all of them, this is not a general statement, but there are a lot of them that are apathetic. They lack empathy. There are neurotypicals that have great empathy, and that's wonderful. We're not talking about them. We're talking about the ones that lack empathy. Because they lacked the empathy. They didn't put themselves in our shoes and just treated us like shit because they felt like it, because they felt that they could. And that's the problem. And this is why we as chosen ones, as autistic people, we had to go through this because we had to be the observer. We had to see exactly how people treat people with autism, how people treat others that have disabilities. We had to live it. We had to experience it. We had to be the observer because we had to see this is how inhumane this world has become. People with disabilities, people that it's far beyond not getting social cues. It's not understanding social interactions. It's not understanding it. It's having your brain wired differently where it doesn't process it that way. We had to awaken to see exactly how cold this world is and how they could spit you up and throw you out, and how if you have mental health issues or if you have anything, disabilities, whatever, people would use that to their advantage. But what does that say about those people that did that? Those people are weak. Those people are weak because if they have to pick on someone that is defenseless, someone that cannot defend themselves, someone that cannot stick up for themselves, if they have to pick on those people to feel good about themselves, those are horrible people. They cannot call themselves a good person when they are making fun of somebody that has a disability. You can't call yourself a good person if that's how you treat people. You're a good person because you treat everybody with kindness and respect and dignity. You don't act as if you are better than anybody. And that's one thing that we are learning here, is that as we are awakening to our gifts, we are awakening to who we truly are, we're starting to look back and where it's appalling us. It's really making our blood boil because we're like, wow, these people were horrible to us. It's okay. And when you get in those moments, acceptance is the first part of grief. Accept what they did. Accept that, yes, these people were behaving and acting horribly towards me, not realizing that I had a disability. And because I was so undiagnosed, I became a target for that. You have to accept it for how ugly and unpleasant it is. You have to accept it because that's the first step to setting you free. Once you accept it, then what you can do next is feel all of the emotions that come with it. Allow yourself to grieve. Allow yourself to feel that pain. Allow yourself to express the emotions that you had to suppress before. Allow yourself to get as angry and as upset as you need to be to let that emotion out. Feel your emotions. The next part is forgiveness. Forgiving those people that have hurt you. Forgiving yourself because you did not know any better. Before you can forgive those people, you got to first feel all of the pain so that you can separate the pain from the person. When you can separate the pain from the person because you've processed through that pain, you can forgive them. And once you can forgive them, you can release, let go, and move on. Your autism is a gift. It makes you who you are. It's not a curse. And now that we are aware of our autism, we can lead by example on how people with autism should be treated, how they should be respected, because we have to give that for ourselves and others when we see it. And this is another way to speak up and advocate for people with autism, to let them know how we are human beings with feelings too. Just because we may not understand social cues doesn't mean that that gives them the right to just treat us horribly and just bully us to our face. That doesn't give them the green light to do that. You are much stronger than you think. You are much wiser than you think. And you will overcome this pain. Because while those neurotypical people are being assholes about it and not growing and developing as a person, granted, you may have a deficit, a deficiency, and you may not be good at catching social cues. But let me tell you, you have a much purer soul than they do, a brighter light than they do, and a much better heart than they do, a more gentle heart. You are a loving person. And it's better for you to be a loving person and maybe not get social cues than to be an asshole of a person that is able to communicate with everybody. It's okay, baby. It's okay. Allow yourself to process through all of that pain. It's a journey. And as we are awakening to this, you're going further into your healing journey. The more you awaken, the deeper you hurt, the deeper you heal, because those wounds awaken deeper. The more you awaken, the more you realize how deep your wounds really are. And the more that you are eliminating some of that pain and diving deeper, you see exactly how deep your pain really is. And when you get to that point, allow yourself to feel everything. Allow yourself to feel everything. And let me say this one last thing before I go. Once you recognize and are aware that you are autistic, you can drop the mask. No need to mask your autism anymore. Be your true, authentic self. Be your autistic self. Because when you are your true self, not masking your autism, you feel so much more free. Give yourself that freedom that you deserve. I love you. We will get through this. We will heal. We will overcome. I love you. Ashe.